Hello, hello, everybody. Come on in. Happy Tuesday. Y'all come in and let me know if you're here and if you can hear me. I would love just to get a confirmation and let's see if I can get this pulled up. I have missed y'all. I've missed y'all. Let's see. Okay, I see it's on there now. So let me get this shared over to our groups. And then we'll get started. Have lots of stuff to talk about today. All right, I think I've got it going. All right. Hey, Holly. Thank you for letting me know you're here. I've missed y'all. Hey, Debbie. It's good to see you. All right, so let me tell y'all one important thing. I have a physical therapy appointment and the only time I could get it was at 1 o'clock. So I have to stop promptly at 11:30. So because I was afraid I would forget, I set an alarm on my phone. So if you hear it going off, just yell at me, go, you got to get to that appointment. Um, and I know I'll just give you an update about that. Y'all know I've had vertigo issues, a good bit of that kind of problems. And I've been going to the ENT and to physical therapy, and it's helping. So I went yesterday to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. They retested my hearing and it's doing much better. And so she said, keep up that physical therapy. So I've already rescheduled the appointment a couple of times, so I couldn't cancel it. But anyway, we're going to pack a lot into these 30 minutes that we have together. I see Bobby. I was definitely thinking about you. We were off last week. This first time I've taken an entire week off and I don't know when. And at first I felt a little bit nervous about it, but then once I got there, it was great. So, we went to Connecticut last week for an art retreat, and I was a student, and it was wonderful. It was just wonderful. I've always wanted to go up to the New England states, the East Coast area, and the Lord, his timing is always perfect. It was just breathtaking, and it was so good for my heart. So, I thought about so many of y'all, especially the ones I kind of knew about where you lived. Bobby was definitely one, and thought about you, Wendy, coming back through South Carolina. And then on the way up there, I was posting each state as we went into it, and there were a lot of people, our Facebook followers that live in those states. So I felt kind of like I took y'all with me. So I wished I could take a day and just unpack all my stuff and show you all the stuff I made. And I'll have more time on Friday. So maybe during that Facebook Live, we can dig through some of the stuff that I made. But since today is a short gathering, I want to make sure to give you some important updates. Hey, Cassie and MK and Johnette, Marilyn. So glad to see y'all. Surely have missed you. I see Diane there too. Y'all tell me about your weather because it's dropped here. We got home Saturday night, late Saturday night, and the temperatures were a good bit cooler here, so I was surprised. And then yesterday afternoon, we drove to Mobile, South Alabama, for Micah's jazz band concert, and we left wearing sweaters and long sleeves, and we didn't need it down there. But, it was a really good concert, and then we turned around and came back. So we have been on the road, but I think all my going, well, I'm not even gonna say that because 'cause we're going back down there this weekend for he's singing in an opera. So lots of grandparent fun stuff that we're doing. All right. Yes, Sherry, it was so good for my heart. I really needed that, and the Lord knew I needed it. So, I'm very, very, very grateful that I could go, and I thank y'all for your encouragement to me. It means a lot to me. It really does. So, I'm struggling with the fact that this is the last week of October. It has flown by. Do y'all feel like that? Like it's flown by? So I made myself some notes so that I could make sure to tell you. I don't want you to miss out on things, um and then we'll talk a little bit about our verse, and then I'll come back and remind you of these things, because if you're like me, you need to hear it more than once. So, because it's the last week of October, that early bird pre-order price ends, I think it's October 31st. So many of y'all have pre-ordered for the calendar and the planner. I'm so thankful. I just am so thankful. And I meant to pull up, let me see if I can grab it right here for y'all in case you haven't ordered your plan. And you can get it after the pre-order. It's just not at that reduced price. And just so you know, the reason that we do it that way is it actually helps me know how many to order. It helps me to be a good steward of the money, and it just helps me have a better idea of how many I need to order. So I like to give a discount, encourage you to go ahead and place your order, and like give a blessing to you for placing your order early, because it really does help me. And I just dropped a link in there for y'all. If you've not ordered, or if you want to order some more and get that discount, you can do that. Pretty sure it's midnight on the 31st, which I think is Friday. Anyway, so that's coming. The other thing I wanted to show you, and we have the printables for November, and these little printables are special for several reasons, but one reason is I worked on these. We had a 17-hour drive. I didn't work on them the entire 17 hours, but these have been put together across many states, up and back. So they're special. In the other reason that they're special is a lot of these, almost all of these really, were designs that I created quite a few years ago. And the Lord was just using Christmas to be like a mile marker to my heart. And so it's so sweet to look back at these designs and be reminded of that, because so many of these, I can kind of remember what was going on when I was creating them. And so I know some of you might be thinking, Christmas is not even Thanksgiving yet. But as a creative, it takes us a little bit of time to make our stuff. So the plan is for our November, I feel like I have a hair tickling my face. For our November creative clubs, we're going ahead and start on our Christmas. And we're still celebrating Thanksgiving, but we're also working on our Christmas. So we're doing a little bit of both, and I'll explain that more. So for the printable club, you may even have it now in your hub, but the theme is I think I said faith, hope, and love Christmas. A faith, hope, and love Christmas. So this is one of the designs for the printable club. And I wanted to tell you about this one because I have so many fond memories of it. Um, whenever, and this is how my brain works, and yours might work this way too. But with shapes and things like that, they almost turn into a cartoon character for some reason. And so I could just picture the Christmas trees with a little head on it and having fancy dresses and stuff like that. And one of the girls, that's this little girl, she's me because she's got a bird nest in her head. Um, Good. So you've got yours. Good. I cannot wait to see what y'all do with them, y'all, because they're just special, and I wanted you to know that. We've got a sheet of tags that you and I tried to not give you too many ideas because sometimes that kind of boxes you in and you feel like you can't do anything else other than that. But I made these smaller so you could use them like name tags. You could also make bookmarks. You could use them as ornaments. And we'll have a special class. It'll probably close to the end of November or the 1st of December, a resin class for all of our clubs because we'll Printable Club is working on these things. Our Creative Hearts will be working on a different thing, and then we can compile them all in December, do some resin. So that's kind of what's going on in our Printable Club. I want to show you one other, and the reason why I want to show you this is because it's such a testament of how God uses our creativity for many ways to bring glory to himself, to help our heart, to help others, but also to help us keep a record of his word and what he's done. So I had a series of framed art, and that's probably not the best word for it, but that's what I was calling it. But it's actually word art, and they've got frames around them. So this one right here is faith. And I think this was my first one. No, I think hope was my first one. This is hope. But if you look closely at this, I've got the word hope and it says holding on to his promises and expecting his return. So I wanted you to see this so you can start thinking along your own lines of how could you apply this? So, for instance, with hope, I would get out my dictionary and concordance and I would look at all the words that started with H. And I would do the same with O, with P, with E, and see which of those words help tell the story of this word. So around the H, it says, hold on, he came, he overcame, he is coming again. O, one and only way, one and only Son. P, Prince of Peace, the promised King. E, eternal life, evidence of God's love, the Lamb of God. So it's just one more way you can take your creativity, get a dictionary, get a concordance, whatever other tools you want to do, and take a word. Doesn't matter. Take a word and start doing a word study and using the letters of the word to help you go deeper into what that word means. So think about it. All right. So this was the first one, and it was called Christmas Hope. Let's see what Bobby said. Cards of the angel trees with a bookmark included inside. That's a great idea. We are gifting a small prompt card book to each of the children in the program. That's a beautiful idea. All right, this is the second one, and this one also has a story. So look at this one, faith, Faith. In full abandon, I trust him. That's faith. So I'm abandoning all the other things that I put my faith in so that I can put my trust in him in full abandon. And so around this one, I did the same thing. Once I started doing this, it was like I was on a roll and I did it for several years. And my new Christmas design of each year was one of these word art frames. And the frame part even continued on with the story. So look at what that says in the frame, believing in my heart what my eyes cannot see. Believing in my heart what was that one? What my mind cannot grasp. So I remember the year I did this one. My father-in-law had cancer, and it looked like he was not going to have many more days here on earth. And so this design, I created that during that season of life, and I still remember it. And doing this with the words, it helped me go deeper in what that word meant. So that's faith, hope, and I did this so that you could cut this out and you could put it in the frame, or you could cut it out and use it as a photo mat. There's lots you can do with it. You can use it as Christmas cards. Tried to make it virtual, not virtual. Know what I'm trying to say. Love, laying down one's life, offering up oneself to be a vessel for extravagant love to flow. That was love. And there's those two frames. And then I'm pretty sure that the tree girls were the last ones, and that's what they look like in the frame. Jesus is the reason for the season. And I told the cap ladies this, but when I painted these, I was on such a roll with them. I took some foam board, big foam board, and I painted them again, one angel on each big piece of foam board, and then I cut out the shapes, and that's what I used at our shows for that season, and it really attracted attention. Okay, so those are the main designs, and so then I took it a step further. I took the color palettes from each of those and designed some background paper so you could layer it, and this is ink splotches, and here's the little Christmas lights. And they've all been through a lot of different states. So I might have been in your state when I was working on them. And then the last one, I want to explain that, and then I'm going to show you what else is coming. See if I can get these back together. So this one, and Wendy, I thought of you for this. This could be a background, but you could also put this in a frame and then make a little display. This is in a frame, something else is in a frame, some little trees are around here. We'll talk more about it, but that's how I've got it going this way. I also made a landscape orientation because I saw it. This really could be a journal, a Christmas journal. So Wendy's my inspiration for that. Okay, Karen, thank you for that update. I was thinking about you. I'm so glad that you're able to be there with them. So glad. Praying for you. This is the strips, and I like to print these on sticker paper and cut them into strips and use them like washi tape. But you could also do them like this and make a journal. There's lots of ways you can do it. So I just wanted y'all to see. And if you're in the Printable Club, y'all go check it out. Check out what you've got. If you're not in there, we would love to have you. And basically what the Printable Club is where I've taken my artwork. I've been creating art and selling my art for 30 years. And I'm giving it new life and giving you the license to use it in your creative projects. So I think that, let me grab this. Let's see if I can get it. When you join, you'll have all the other months also that we started this in May, so we've got a good bit of it's starting to build up. But there's a new theme each month, and I try to do it so it coordinates with the other things that we're doing so that you could use it even in your mixed media projects. Okay, so how am I on time? Okay, I can do this. So I know a lot of you watching have done the journal with me, the Thankful Heart Journal. We're about to go deep in this thing. So in November, and that's what I was almost late because I was engrossed in what I was doing. We're going to we're fixing to fill this thing up. And I'm doing it a little bit different this time. And let me just tell you about it. So with Creative Hearts, with the lettering, every week we have a different verse, and it's a supporting verse that supports the name of God that is our focus for that month. So in November, the name of God is Jehovah Jireh, and He is the God who provides. So we will be lettering supporting verses for that, for Jehovah Jireh, and I'm formatting them to go in. I'm making the size so they go in this, but I also, because I didn't want, I just, I feel like, let's see how to say this. I feel like I didn't get to do all I wanted to do with this journal. I didn't get to go as deep with it as I wanted to go. And so I have created some prompt cards for our CHS ladies. There's 30 of them. So it's optional if you want to do it. But if you want to go deeper with this, this book is inspired by Ann Voskamp's book, 1000 Gifts. I went ahead and made these prompt cards for you. And I'm giving you ideas of what to do with them. But like prompt number 1, this is just an example. Morning light. Just one word, morning light. And the question is, what does this morning light remind you about God's goodness? So you could cut these into strips, have a decorative envelope, and pull one out for the different days. I'm going to incorporate mine into my book, but I'm giving you some more ideas, like you can make a box, like we did our truth box. You could make a box with it so that you can pull out a card. You could make extras, y'all, so that you could gift it to a friend, like one of your friends. You could say, I don't know. I could say, all right, my friend Gina, I've got one, you've got one. Let's do these together. And each day we can text each other. And what does the light remind you of God's goodness? Like an accountability thing. That's an idea. Just an idea. So November, we're just going to keep going in this book and go deeper for those who want to. Did any of you, for Friday, I'm thinking that if you needed, because I did have to chop up this one, if you need help with your journal, we can talk about it on Friday. That's wonderful, Sister. Oh, Karen's brother-in-law has cancer. I'm so thankful they have a church family. I don't know how we would make it without our spiritual family. Well, Terry, a lot of people will get them printed. You can get them printed. I don't think it would cost very much. Like you can send it to Office Depot or what are some of the other stores? Staples, and you just get them printed out. I would love for you to have them too. Okay, so that's a recap or a sneak peek. That's the word. Sneak peek of what we're going to do for the lettering. So if you've not made one of these yet, you still can do it. This is a half-size composition book. You can still do it, and this is what we're going to be working on in November. And then for the mixed media, we're going to do jelly plates. We're going to do mono printing with a jelly plate. And so what I'm going to do is use some of the papers that my mono prints in my journal as a background for the verses. And I think it's going to be so much fun. Good, Melinda. Good. Thank you for joining us. If you ever have questions, please let me know. Please let me know. So, and I don't have much time, but I really would love to know how many people don't have a jelly maybe that's the way to say it, a gel plate, and don't even know what in the world I'm talking about as far as a gel plate. What is a I'm just curious how many people we have that maybe are not familiar with it. Um, but that's what we're going to do in November for Creative Hearts. We'll start making some mono prints, and I'll show you how you can create a palette so that if you wanted to, then you could, let me do this right here. Okay, Maryland does not. So it is, let me grab one. Hang on, y'all. What we could do is do this on Friday. I'll talk more about it on Friday for y'all. This is one of the brands. It's a gel printing plate. Yes, Josephine, they will be. I'm finishing them up now. So they will be. The goal is to have them for you by the end of this month. Yes. All right, so let's do this then on Friday. Let's take Friday to talk more about the gel printing plate. I can explain more about it. I can kind of show you how it works. And if you don't have one and you're not really, this way you can see it and decide, well, I don't really want to do that. Then I can show you alternatives of how you can still make some papers without it. So, do you have a starter kit? It's very likely we are. Brandy's working on that right now. That was one of the things that we were going to ask if y'all had an interest. We had we have some extra gel plates from the retreat that we were going to be sending back, but wanted to check to see if y'all have an interest. We can put together a small kit for that. So if we could do it this way, because I do have to leave in 2 minutes or I will be late for physical therapy. If you're interested in a gel plate, if you have time to just take a few minutes and email at the hello, I'll type it in here. Hello at Pam Coxwell Designs, and just say, hey, I'm interested in one of those gel plates. And what we were talking about doing is give you some starter paper. That's what we did at the retreat, and just to help you get started with it. I think you would love it. We'll be using brayers. I thought I had some of my papers up here, but I think they're down there in the warehouse. But all right, so we will talk about gel plates on Friday. And then so think of your questions, and Friday noon Central Time, Lord willing, we will talk about it. And the other thing I want you to know that's coming, so that it just doesn't all come up and you're like, whoa, I didn't know we were going to do that. It's called Home for Christmas. And if you enjoyed the window series that I've done throughout the year, the spring, summer, fall, and Christmas window series, if you've enjoyed that, you're going to love Home for Christmas. It's an ornament series based off those windows, the Christmas window specifically. Let me grab it. Please don't fall. It has also traveled up and down the East Coast. I had my iPad with me, so I was working on it while we were traveling. But we've got an ornament series coming, y'all. So I'll have this information out this week also, so you know the dates, and you can put it on your calendar, okay? Because I want you to do this with me. I think you're going to love it. I'm thoroughly enjoying drawing all the little parts for it, and I'm really close to being able to show you what it is. But I think it'll be the second week in November. But I need to confirm that. So y'all make sure you're on the email list so that you know when the kits are ready, and it's going to be our big Christmas project for this year. And for those who live close enough, we will have some dates soon. We're hoping to have everything sealed this week so that we can tell y'all, but we're going to do another resin ornament class here, an in-person class, and then we're going to do watercolor Christmas painting here. So we've got a lot of stuff coming in November, and I'm so excited to share it with y'all. So, I gotta go. I'm so sorry to have to leave early, and I didn't want to cancel. So, I've enjoyed being with y'all. And so, recap, keep a check on your email. If you've not ordered the your calendar or planner, be sure to get that. The discount ends at the end of this week. The Home for Christmas is coming soon. We'll talk about jelly plates on Friday and talk more about it. The resin we will do in person, and we'll do it online in Creative Hearts, Diane. I think I gave you the recap, and just know I love you. And I'm just going to go do physical therapy on my ears and my neck. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, let us know you were here. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.